Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. A happy Wednesday to you all. Happy rainy Wednesday to you all. Let us continue with Mr. Yesung's latest drop. We have the rest of the Unfading Sense EP to check out. The title track was absolutely glorious. It was so smooth. It was so pretty. It's very much Yesung territory for me. And, well, much like we did with the earlier album from the year, we've got to check out the B-side, so let us do just that. I have album credits pulled up on my phone, got everything queued up. We have lyric videos for all the songs. I do not know the accuracy of the lyric videos, but we have lyric videos anyway, so we have some form of a visual to go along with the album listen, which works in our favor. Very exciting times. But yes, let us get into it. DJ, roll the intro. So, Unfading Sense, Mr. Yesung's fifth mini album, according to the Reddit post. Scented Things, thankfully the title track is track number 1, which was my favorite because we could just go 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to finish. I have just clocked, well, while I was in between recording sessions and was pulling this up, Scented Things is written by a fella named Kim Daniel. Looked him up. It's Daniel Kim from Wave to Earth, and I think that's very cool. Wave to Earth is a group that I need to get into more. I listened to their most recent release on the channel, I think. It might have been the release one before. I was meant to get around to the album, but I never did. But they're a band that has the support and the backing of certain Miss Hyunjin of LE SSERAFIM, and, well, if her music taste and her, like, solo music stuff is anything to go off of, oh yeah, her music taste is immaculate, so, you know, if she's given the seal of approval for Wave to Earth, I'm on board, so I gotta check them out later at some point. But we have Silhouette, Fornever, which is a very clever title, Butterfly Slide Away, and Nah, or I Am. So, let's get started. I don't know how this is gonna do for copyright. Last time it got blocked, but I have successfully done a couple of SM album listens since then, so I'm hoping this one survives, fingers crossed. If it doesn't, well, we're kind of SOL, but if you're new around here, you've never been around for an album listening with me before, Time on Below is going to be chapter based off whatever song we're listening to, so you can refer to that and skip ahead to a song of your choice if you so choose to do so. But let us start. Track number 2, Silhouette, lyrics by Doring, and Sonu. It's in Hangul, so apologies if I've gotten the names horrifically wrong. Composition Doring TLSW, Sonu, and then arrangement by Bor. Yesung does have credits later on. Very cool. Alright, here we go. Enough dawdling. That resonating guitar is very cool. Yesung's breath control is just so interesting to me. Not breath control like when singing how long his breath is, but how much breath he puts in his notes is very cool. again, it's another one of those songs where the build is there. You don't really notice it. Like, it does take a step up in the chorus just a fraction, but it doesn't move around a whole lot. It doesn't need to. Take it up second time around. Yeah, the amount of breath he puts into his singing is so cool. There aren't... Admittedly, I don't listen to a whole lot of soloists. At least in... Oh. No, we're good. At least in comparison to, like, group artists, like boy group, girl group artists, don't listen to a whole lot of soloist music. But Yesung's ability of that breathy tone that he's capable of doing, I genuinely struggle to think of many other artists who can do what he does and does it at the level that he does. Because Silhouette, this song, would have come across entirely differently had this been sung by a different artist. It's because of Yesung's breathiness that makes this song really pretty. And kind of, Silhouette is a really interesting title, because it's like, Silhouette, depending on the conditions, isn't really crystal clear, right? With the way he sings Silhouette, there are certain times where his voice is really clean, really clear, full body tone. But then there's others where it's just so airy and so whispery that it's like, if you're walking through the park, let's say on like a partly cloudy day, and when the sun just gets covered by the clouds, you see your shadow kind of just slowly start blending in until you can't see it anymore, or like it's not as clear. His vocal delivery in Silhouette is very much like that, and it's not just exclusive to this song either. And that's what makes Yesung's ballads and softer stuff so captivating for me, as a ballad lover myself. Sorry, that was a bit of a waffle already on first song. I did not mean to go on that long of a tangent, but my apologies. Fornever, track number 3, Min Yeon Jae, Mary Jane, Lala Studio, and Yesung on lyrics. Hell yes. Winona Oak, Adam Bergwall, and Juliander for composition, and Aaron Wine for arrangements. I'm waiting for the build. I'm waiting for something to happen. Oh, that's very nice. Interesting that the bass is done left-hand piano. I like the acoustic instrumentation for this too. The fingerstyle acoustic guitar with the kind of old-timey piano in the interludes. Oh, that extra kick for the chorus is just the right amount. It's not too much, it's not too little. I also like that different type of vocal now. We're getting more body in the vocal part. And that cadence of the chorus is great too. Slow, slow, and then boom, ramp it up at the end. Yeah, it's like even when he takes the power out, it's still not breathy, not like Silhouette. It's better for never. No, it's not. Oh, Yesung, that is criminal. Yesung, this needs to be 3.5 minutes, not 2.5 minutes. Oh, I can't even believe it. Oh, I don't do this often. I need that chorus again, please, Yesung. I said we'll last till the world ends, whilst you were holding for heartbreak, longing for Erever's tale. It's for the better way up for never. That chorus is so freaking pretty. Oh my goodness. I have goosebumps from that chorus. The thing is, it's so smooth and it's so pretty, and the pacing for it is brilliant. It's so slow and drawn out. It's like all the syllables are so extended and the meanings of the words. It's given, like, the pacing of this chorus is giving it necessary time to let the words and the melody marinate into the listener. Like, I'm going again. I can do what I want, right? Drawn out, quick, drawn out, and then it's that contrast of the stretchy, long held notes, and then the quicker cadence for the other half, and then drawn out. Da, 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 da. Draw out the pause. Da, 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 da. Ooh. That's song on the album for me right now. Like, I like the title track, but Fornever is fire. Oh my goodness. And again, back to the vocal part. Yesung, like, this song, you barely had any airy, like, breathiness in his voice. Even when it went soft and low power, we didn't get any of the air in his vocals that we got from Silhouette. And that is the breath control that I'm talking about. Here's the thing. If you showed Silhouette and Fornever to someone who didn't know who Yesung was, didn't know what his voice sounded like, just showed it to them as Song A and Song B, I reckon you would get some people who thought that they were two different artists. That's how different, and that's how much range his voice has. Yeah, Yesung, you're cracked, man. All right. Butterfly. Track number 4, lyrics by Glenn Check, composition Glenn Check, arrangement Glenn Check, across the board. Evening commute vibes already? I've just had a thought. Just based off of the recent music that's come out, BTS is V. And Yesung has their two projects have a lot of correlating features about them. I like it. talk about contrast. That's what I'm talking about. That's taking breathy to a whole new level, by the way. Whispering the lines? Ooh, ooh, what are you doing to me, sir? I also like that every single song has a very clear characteristic, and not just the vocals, but the instrumental part as well. Like this one's got the little wah-wah guitar part. Last one, very much acoustic heavy. Oh, I like that. I like the oscillating stereo. It's a string section, but it feels like a string sound sample on a synthesizer rather than actually being played. Whoa. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. I've got an analogy for that. This song actually has a lot of left-right panning going on, not just the string section from earlier. The wah-wah guitar is doing the same thing as well. And let it peter. Yeah, no, that's very nice. I brought up that V point very early on in the beginning. That's because this is the you have ballad artists out there. Like I mentioned Im Young-woong in the title track reaction, but this type of really kind of the evening commute aesthetic or the late night aesthetic is a sound that not many solo artists do. Very recently, we had V's entire solo debut project happen, and that was very much that kind of territory when it came to music. And when I was listening to it, my brain didn't bring up Yesung as like a comparison note, but like listening to the music on both V's like solo debut project and as well as this Yesung drop, all the similarities are actually quite cool. It's a stylistic thing more than anything. They both have the kind of lower dulcet tones, but can also pump in a whole bunch of air in their singing voices. And there's an interesting amount of similarity that I didn't clock before. And I think that's very cool because I absolutely adore Yesung and what he does. And V's solo project, as someone who kind of likes the weirder genres when it comes to music, like the slower lounge jazz vibe or the evening commute vibes, so to speak, are genres that have very much grown on me in the past like couple years or so. And the fact that we've got kind of two artists for me in recent memory that have gone and really done that sound justice just makes me so happy. But that analogy I meant to talk about earlier, this growing harmony portion is crazy. It has that rumbling 808. The fact that that chord builds and it's like after all the parts have been put in, it grows even more. Like it's not just adding more parts in the way it grows, it actually increases in volume as it grows. And like kind of a metaphor for this. In my brain, considering this is a song called Butterfly, like I'm gonna take the title quite literally here, but it does feel like a butterfly like emerging out of the cocoon and it's just like slowly breaking through the shell and then spreads the wings out. Like as the butterfly spreads the wings out of the cocoon, it's that extra bump in volume at the end. Like, it happens again, but cocoons start to break open. Start to break open. Peeking through. Peeking through. Peeking through. Peeking through. Wings out. I just think that's so cool. I love when a song can paint a picture like that for me. It's I like to think I have a pretty creative like mind when it comes to just like depicting things, but I've always thought that whenever a song can so vividly paint a mental picture like that, it's a well-written song. And that gets my stamp of approval. All right. Next up, Slide Away. Song number 5. Ah, Kim Daniel, Kim Daniel. All right. We've got a Wave Tours competition one more time. Daniel, Kim, across the board. Here we go. Again, a different color and a different vibe for the instrumental. It's the most energetic song on the album so far. Oh, I'm on board with this. This is like nostalgic for me in a way. Like this is very much embracing the energetic rock ballad, so to speak. Oh, this song has just made this difficult for me now. This is one of those rock songs that teeters the line between the anthem and the ballad. Right in the middle. Oh, yes. That's why the nostalgia aspect comes into it, because it's very much two rock genres that I'm very familiar with. Oh, okay. Yeah, now that genuinely, this song has just made choosing B-side of the album for me really difficult. Who does this remind me of from the 80s? Take a step back for the bridge. Build it, build it. One notch up. And I love that extra harmony part. That's the song. Still haven't found what I'm looking for. Is that U2? It's got that kind of vibes to it. And the bona fide outro to cap it off too. Oh my. Man, okay. when I first heard the song start and that extra little bit of energy and that extra little bit of brightness, I was very intrigued. Almost 4 minutes later, oh no, this is a problem. And it's I hate rambling about this, but my brain wants me to talk about it, so I'm gonna do it anyways. You know the streaming meta that we get recently where to maximize streaming numbers, the songs are getting shorter. As someone who grew up around 80s music, like I grew up very much around 80s rock music, the hair metals, the power ballad, the second British invasion, German metal, like West Coast, that kind of like rock music. So I'm very familiar with rock bass, just like songs and kind of like pulling comparisons, stuff like that. Slide Away has so many moments in it where it just takes me back to being a kid again, listening to that type of music on like car journeys to and from like a golf course and stuff like that. Because I used to play competitive golf growing up, and like coming home from tournaments and stuff, just listening to that kind of music on the rock stations on the FM radio, and oh man, Daniel Kim, you have outdone yourself with it. Honestly, like I thought Fornever was going to be pretty much a shoe-in for B-side of the album for me. Slide Away might have just snatched that crown. Like genuinely might have snatched that crown. It's so good. And it is very much still haven't found what I'm looking for vibes. And I'm still haven't found what I'm looking for. No, there's like it's not an inherently like depressing sounding song. It's kind of like a hopeful sounding song in a way, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Where's my cursor? There's my cursor. One final song on the album. This is I Am, or the Korean title, Nah. Simply titled Nah. Lyrics by Yesung, lead credit on lyrics. Min Yeon-jae of La Studio on lyrics as well. Composition, Phenomennotes, Dunk and Yesung on composition as well. Dunk and Phenomennotes on arrangement. We do love an artist composition credit around here. Yes, we do. I mean, we love a member composition or composition credit on anything, whether it's lyrics or the actual like song part of it. But yeah, the fact that Yesung got stuck in with the actual like writing part of the song itself, that's very cool. Here we go. Are we ending with a happy ballad? Also like how naked the song starts. It's just the guitar and him. That's it. Hello, background vocals. Oh, that is not the progression I thought he was going to go for. Hello, breast section. It is a happy ballad. I'm not gonna lie, the brass section coming out of nowhere, oh, I love a brass section. It's a very tasteful amount of a brass section. It's not too overwhelming. Brass instruments is really easy to kind of overblast the rest of the song. They're holding back really nicely. Oh, straight into the bridge. Go completely different melody too. I love it. Also, hello string sections, my fellow stringers. Stringers, gee, no, string section players. There we go. Oh? Oh, fake entry. Also didn't clock until now, the constant piano in the background. Ba, 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 ba. And the very raw finale at the end, bringing back the same way the song started, just Yesung and the acoustic guitar. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, I was actually very curious about what this final song was going to be like. So, pop albums typically end on a ballad. It's just the natural order of things in the music world. You end on a ballad, especially in the pop world. You have your high intensity stuff, your dramatic stuff, your energetic stuff early on, and then you finish the project with a nice ballad, nice soft landing at the end of the road. With this entire album, with Yesung very much, proficient in that softer type of music, I was wondering what direction he was going to go for the final song. He did maintain the kind of ballady pace in the song, very much took it up. Like this, I think officially is the most energetic song, purely just based off of the fact that it's so bright. It's not fast, but what it is every single part in the song, apart from the intro and the outro where it's just Yesung and the guitar. Even so, the guitars are very much playing a major key. Just the chords that it's strumming is very much part of the major chord sequence. So listening to it, even from the beginning, it's going to be bright in some way. Like, here, we'll go back to it. Like there are some modified chords here and there that make it sound very tasty indeed, but it's very much a bright chord sequence. And the further you progress through the songs, you get the string section, you get the brass section, you get the keys going. And everything is working in conjunction with each other to make the song as bright as it can at the pace that it's moving at, because the pace that it's moving at is slow. It's really slow. But because every single part of this slow song is doing everything in its power to make it bright, it's really bright. And to end the album on what may or may not be the slowest song on the album, but also the brightest song on the album, is very cool. Very rare, I think. At least in the albums that I've come across this year, this has not happened once. There have been albums that have ended on like a bright anthem or like a triumphant style anthem, but never a song that's this slow and also this bright. And in hindsight, I probably should have expected this, considering the natural progression of the album is very much a slow, smooth start. But this was not the form I expected this to take. Oh, no. I remember when I first listened to Yesung on, I think it was called like Small Things, right? Yeah, Yesung's Small Things. I remember when that dropped, the Sensory Flows album. I remember listening to that. That was my first time ever listening to Yesung. And I remember just like falling in love with his style, his aesthetic, his musical signature, so to speak, especially in the Sensory Flows project, where it's very much I mean, sensory flows is a pretty apt name for it. It takes all your senses and just makes it flow back and forth. And then, following it up with the winter feature on, I think it was Floral Sense, right? There was the Japanese release, Kanama no Koi, which was also very, very good. And then, of course, he had his Imogen Service episode around that time as well. And it's just like every single time I listen to a Yesung project, I fall in love with it more and more. And I feel like I've said that before, like almost verbatim. I feel like I've said that before, but it just feels like something I won't get sick and tired of saying over and over again is he's just his vibe is so cool. And that's what's tough about Yesung's music for me is I love the music that he puts out. Every single thing I've listened to by him so far has been exquisite. But there is a certain trend and a certain mood that you need to be in, or at least for me, to be able for me to fully appreciate what his music is. And I'm recording this. It's coming up to 5:30 in the afternoon. It's still very much raining outside. But his music very much does fit this time of day, this type of aesthetic. Maybe a little bit dreary, a little bit gray outside. It's a little bit later in the day. Things are winding down. Had I been a salaryman, I'd probably be on the train or the bus home at this point. Just sitting in the seat on motor public transport, seeing the raindrops streak across the window diagonally as your mode of transport moves forward. And just like looking out the window, the sky is gray, the weather's not that great, but hearing Yesung and his smooth music providing the soundtrack for like your commute home, that is, in my mind, Yesung's aesthetic. Now, I'm well aware he's done some other stuff in the past, but for me and what I know about Yesung is essentially all the music that he's dropped this year is what I know about Yesung. That and he was on shoot, what's that show called where they paired two idols together in like a fake relationship format? It was Yesung and former IOI and Priston's Nayoung. I remember I clocked onto that like way after the fact watching it, like, hey, wait a minute, that's Yesung, isn't it? Oh yeah. But yeah, this is I'm genuinely so impressed at just every single time I listen to him, I find new things out about Yesung's musical style as an artist and his music, and it's just, oh, I am glad I recorded the second. For reference, I recorded all the on and off stuff earlier today, and I'm kind of glad we held off because now that it is later in the day, and now that I am getting a little bit tired, I've had a busy morning today, so I'm in the right mindset to enjoy this type of music, and because of it, oh, I greatly enjoyed it. Song of the album, Sent to Things is a good song. I like it as a title track, but for me, songs of the album is either Slide Away or Fornever. It's one of the two. I think it depends on what mood I'm in. Yeah, no, it's definitely based on the mood. I think at this point in the day, I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards Fornever. But I think had I listened to this album about an hour ago, I'd probably lean towards Slide Away. But yeah, for me, those two songs are B-sides or just songs of the album for me. But that is it for me. Thank you all for dealing with my waffling. Yesung just brings out the talkative side of me, and I just love talking about Yesung and his music. And yes, that is it from me today with the album. Listen, hopefully you enjoyed listening along as much as I did. One last request from me today: let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking in with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.